Assalamu guys, Afan back again with another video, and in this video what we are going to be looking at is how to make a thermometer graph. Now a thermometer graph is a very good tool to visually see performance against a target. Okay, so what I've done is I've gone ahead and entered 12 people's names in column A, and then the revenue that these people were able to earn during the year. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to use this data to create a thermometer graph, and depending on which salesperson that we are looking at, the graph is going to update dynamically and is also going to change color. Okay, so let's get started. Now the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and add two more columns. One column would be for the target, and the second column would be for the achievement. Okay, so let's assume they all had a target of 100,000. Okay, and I'm just going to copy this down, and I'm also going to change the format of this column to numbers and use a 1000 separator, and I don't want any decimal places. Okay, now achievement is going to be, this is going to be a percentage achievement. So the revenue, in case of John, the revenue earned during the period was 21,000 against a target of 100,000. So achievement would be revenue divided by target. So this should give you 21%. Now 21% in digits, in decimal, is 0.21. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and change the format of this column into, oops, sorry, I don't want to insert a comment. I want to do a format cell, and go to percentage, 0 decimal place. Okay, and I'm now going to go and put this down all the way to the end. Now in case of Bill, what we have is we have overachievers. The target was 100. Against a target of 100, Bill achieved 102. Against a target of 100, Scott achieved 105. So in case of Bill, the achievement goes to 102%. In case of Scott, the achievement is 105%. So what we're going to do is we're going to change this around a bit. So anytime you have an overachievement, we want the achievement to just show 100%. Instead of saying 102, it should say 100%. Instead of saying 105%, it should just say 100%. So what we'll do is we'll put this, we'll make a small change to this formula, and we'll put an if statement. Now if the revenue is greater than 100,000, okay, like in this case here it's 102,000, in this case 105,000, then put a 1. Otherwise, just do the revenue divided by target. Now the reason why I'm putting a 1 here is how you saw this was 0.21, because in decimal 21% was 0.21. So in decimal 100% is 1. Okay, so that's where this 1 is coming from. I'm going to close the bracket. Oops. I accidentally had put double brackets there, and now I'm going to copy this from the down, and now you'll see Bill and Scott both, the achievement percentage would be now 100%. All right. So so even if they're going over 100, achievement would be 100%. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is let's have this cell here as the pickup cell, where you have like a drop down where you can select the person's name, and the graph would update. Now what we're going to do is we're going to create a drop down here. Now I have done 2 or 3 videos on how to create drop downs, and they are on the channel. So if you want, you can go and review those. What I'll do is I'll put links to those videos on drop downs in the comment section. Okay, so but for now, let's follow along and see how we do this. So you click on the data tab, and you go into data validation. Now, I'm using Excel 365, so these tabs may look slightly different. This strip might look slightly different, okay? But if you have an older version of Excel, but regardless whether you're using 365 or Excel 2016 or 2013, they all would, this functionality would work exactly the same, okay? So what we're going to do is we are creating a drop down. So I clicked on data validation. Validation criteria, allow any value. No, I want value from a list. Okay. And the list is over here. That's the list of the employees. Okay. You can see this not in any alphabetical order. Usually it's always best to have these drop downs in alphabetical order. Okay. And click on OK. So now you can see we've got a drop down. Okay, so over here what we'll do is we have the achievement. So in case you picked John, what we would want to do is have the achievement show up here. Okay, now what we're going to do is just a simple VLOOKUP would suffice. So VLOOKUP, lookup value, that's the salesperson name here, comma, table array, that would be this table here, okay, comma, the column index number, so that's 1, column 2, 3, and 4 says column 4. And then, since we want an exact match, we'll put false, close bracket, and okay, now it's showing us 0.21 because this is 21%. So let's make these cells also as percentage. Let's format them as percentage. Okay. Now, if this is blank, we'll get an error here. Okay. So what we want to do is we want to put this within a if error statement. So if there is no error, then do the VLOOKUP and give us that value. If there is an error, just put a blank. So we've got that taken care of. Okay. So now when we select any name, that person's achievement shows up. Okay. So we've got that done. Now let's see if the achievements are between 0, 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. So what that means is anywhere between 0 and 20, you'll get this, you'll get a value here. Anywhere between 20 and 40, you plug this value over here. Okay, so let's see how we do that. So if now we have to use an AND because we are comparing two, with putting in two conditions. So AND if the achievement is greater than or equal to 0 and if the achievement is less than 20, then achievement, otherwise blank, and close bracket. Okay, now let's see what went wrong here. If is I've got this backwards, so it should be if h2, that means this guy here is greater than or equal to I1. So greater than or equal to 0, yes it is. And if it is less than 20, okay. The reason why it's doing it is because what I need to do is I need to put in as 40, 60, 80. These needs to be percentages also. There you go. Okay, so let's see between 0 and 20. Julie, let's see if Julie's name, if we select Julie, that showed up here. Okay, now I'm going to copy this down across, but what I need to do is I need to lock some of these cells. Okay, so H2 is this column here, so I need to lock this. I'm not going to lock the I and J, and I'm going to lock this H2, and I'm going to lock this H2. Okay, and I'm going to copy it all the way here, but not here. Okay, now this would be, and this is between, this would be anywhere between 80 to 100, and if 80 but less than 100, 80 or more than 80 or more than 80 but less than 100, and this would be if achievement is equal to this, and achievement otherwise blank. Okay, so let's test this. If we were to put in bill, this should blank out, and we should get a 100% over here. There you go. Okay, so let's try Bob. There you go. So it's working. Okay, now what we do is, for this graph, what we want to do is we want the graph to change color according to the percentage achievement. So what we'll do is, if it's 0 to 20, it's a dark shade of blue. 20 to 40, slightly lighter shade of blue. 40 to 60, even more lighter shade of blue. 60 to 80, a light pink. And this would be slightly darker pink. And this would be a red. Okay, so what we want to do is we want the graph to change color. Okay, so let's start with the graph making. So if you've got this, the groundwork done, so you've got the foundation to build the graph on, and let's just quickly check, make sure this is working. So Smith, let's see where Smith is showing up. Okay, between 80 to 100. Right, so that just shows that this is working. Okay, now I'm going to highlight this, go to insert a bar graph. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to reformat this axis, and the minimum I needed to be 0, and the maximum I needed to be 1. Okay, and the tick marks I want inside. Click on OK. All right, and what I'll do is I'll get rid of these lines here. See how this tick marks come on the inside, and I don't want the X legend. Okay, now what I'll do is I'm going to go ahead and copy this formula down here for safekeeping. Okay, and what I'll do is I'll just manually type in here, just because what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and add these new items also to the graph. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I need to add an element. So click on select data. Okay, and I want to add this 10%. From 0 to 20, I want to add that to the legend entry. Click. Okay, and the value is okay. All right, now this is, I'm gonna right click, format data series, go to color, border, I don't want any border, fill, I want a solid fill, and I want it to be this dark blue. Okay, now what I'll do is I will add another entry, select data, add, series name is 20 to 40, and that's the value. Click on OK. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to manually punch in 20 here just to see this 20 shows up here and the graph gets plotted here. So now what I'll do is I'll change this color to a lighter shade of blue. So I don't want any lines, I want a solid fill, and I want this shade of blue. Okay, now what I'll do is I will select data. Well, let me change this to 40. I want this to be filled. Okay, so now what I'll do is I will do a select data, add, series name is 40. The series name is not showing up anyway here, but it's always a good idea to link it over there. So if you do want it later on to do something else, get into a habit of always putting the series name. Okay, now this is going to be even a lighter shade of blue, so no lines, solid fill, and that is the very light shade of blue. All right, now I'm going to do a select data, add, series name 60, value is 60, okay, okay. And what I'll do is I'll type 60 here just to get this value filled in. Okay, click here and I'm going to change this color to a solid fill. 60 is a light pink, so that's this guy here with no line. Okay, now what I'll do is I will add 80, okay, and let's punch in 80 here, and we'll change just like we have done for every other line, the bar. I'm sorry. What we'll do is we are changing the color. Okay, now what we'll do is select, this is the last one, add 100 and the value, okay, okay, and we will put 100 here, and we will change this color, solid fill, red, no line. Okay, now what we'll do is go back to 20. It is working. Okay, so 40, 60, 80, 100. Okay, now what we'll do is we can do a format. Now this, you see how it says series overlap, negative 27%. You make this into a 100%. What that does is, it's the two bars are overlapping now. Okay, now if we do 40, it's overlapping the other bar, and it's the new bar that's the only bar that's showing up is the colored bar, Okay, and 100. There you go. And now what we'll do is we will make this a little thinner. There you go. Okay, now what we'll do is I'm going to pick this formula, copy. I did that. I do not want to have to retype this formula, and I'm just going to fill the formula in here, and I can get rid of this formula from here and no fill. Okay, now if you see, John is sitting at 21%, so let's pick up John, and that would be between 20 and 39, so it would be this shade of blue. So you've got that here. Okay. Next is Bill. Bill was at 102, but we made it 100%. So let's select Bill, and that should go red. Okay. Now Julie was at 4%. That would be this color here. So Julie should get a darker shade of blue. Bob was 46, so between 40 and 60. So this, second lightest shade of blue. So Bob. So it's working. So you see how this bar not only changes color, but you only have one bar showing up, and this would be like the readings on the thermometer. Now you can get really fancy and go to Insert, Shapes, and do a do something like this, bring it down here, and there you go. So that's how you would do a thermometer graph. And this, like I said, this is very useful when you want to do visual representation of achievements versus the target. Now in case of Bob, you can see about 46% is the achievement, but the target was 100%, so he's missing this portion here. Now it's more pronounced if you go to John. See, so that's the portion that he did not make. So that's how you would do a thermometer graph. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, just put them down in the comments. If you have not subscribed yet to this channel, I would request that you go ahead and do subscribe, and also hit that bell icon, so you will get updates from from YouTube whenever I upload new videos. And if you like this video, please kindly give it a thumbs up. Thank you.